everyone, Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening for the different kind of video today. First one, hopefully I can do some more. I guess we'll see if you guys enjoy it or not. I wanted to try restoring some fountain pens. I found some on Gumtree that I liked, mainly this is the one that really caught my eye. It is unfortunately a knockoff and probably needs the most repair, but I hopefully will get there. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. And I just wanted to see, you know, I have my eye on some restored vintage pens that just look beautiful, but having never written with them, I kind of didn't want to go out and spend hundreds of dollars. I kind of wanted to see how different ones write. And these are some of them. So I've done a little bit of restoring so far, but I thought I would, I guess, do a bit of like a progress report with you guys, what I've done, and then show you a writing sample. So I'm going to put these to the side and just quickly tell you what each of them are that I know. I don't actually know all of them. We'll start off with this one. So this is a Maybe Todd Blackbird. I can get that in focus for you there. It's got some chew marks on the end. It's a lever filler that is still working quite well. The cap has a little bit of damage and it screws on, but I'm actually just not sure if it's like a little bit crooked. So I need to look into that a little bit more. And this is the nib there. So reading that for you, it just says Blackbird 14 karat. What does it say right down the bottom? Maybe Todd and Co. So the first thing was applying a bit of heat to break the seal of the shellac there, and then open that up. It's still pretty tight in there, but you can open that up and cleared the hardened sack out of there. You can see I haven't scraped the remnants off there yet. What I did do though is pull the nib and feed, gave them a really deep clean. Also just cleaned out the barrel as well, and there was quite a bit of ink in the cap, so cleaned that out. Just try and get that one back on. So you can see what I still have to do there is scrape off the old bits there. The lever feels like it's in pretty good nick. And the pressure bar as well, it is a little bit rusted, so I'm not sure if I need to replace that. It obviously needs to be resacked, and it has an ink stain down the bottom that I haven't tackled there. There is still ink in the cap as well. I'm just going like cleaning and letting it dry, cleaning and letting it dry. And probably just need to give these threads a deeper clean as well. In terms of the nib, what I've done so far is I've done some micro mesh and some mylar and brass tines. This one, brass sheets, not brass tines. So I've done one round of that. Just looking at that, I don't know if that feed is centered there. I've done, 2 rounds of the micro mesh and then 1 round of the 2 different mylars, the 1.0 and 0.3. So I thought I would show you at this stage, having, you know, I've spent a couple of hours on it. It still has somewhere to go, but I am at the point of needing some external help in terms of resacking it and trying to tackle this bottom bit. So I thought I would just do a quick writing sample, and you can see thus far how it writes. I am using Diamine Twilight. I don't have any Parker or Waterman ink, and from the research I've done, Diamine is kind of seen as a safer ink to use, so that's what I'll be using for all of these. This is just Clairefontaine paper. So this is a Maybe Todd. We're going to railroad there. Off to a flying start. Maybe I should get some more ink. Let's see if I can just go over this one. maybe Todd, blackbird. Down, side, down with pressure, so you can see that you get a nice flex in there. Bring that up for you. It lays down a pretty decent amount of ink. I don't think I dipped it in enough. That's why that B first railroaded, but you can see since then it's writing fine. It's quite a wet writer. I feel you can see there, you can see it catching the light. It lays down quite a bit of ink. For me, it's smooth, has a little bit of feedback, but really it's nitpicking. It's not much, obviously more as I do press down, but again, I don't feel like I'm ripping up the page or anything like that, but it does lay down a decent amount of ink. And that's what it's looking like. That is where I went over twice because I didn't dip it in. So that is what the first one's looking like. So the micro mesh, I got all my kind of repair supplies from Fountain Pen Supplies, which is an Australian store. So my brass sheets, the micro mesh is 1200, and then the 2 sheets of Mylar are all from there. I also got some polishing cloths, microfiber cloth and things like that as well. And it's all been really helpful and I think working really well. See if I can find for you the first time. Here you go. The first time I wrote with it, it railroaded straight away. And then before I put the brass sheets in, it was really scratchy. So I think there definitely was some gunk in there. And this was one session of just micro mesh. And then I went back. This was last week. And then today I went back for another session of the micro mesh and then the Mylar. So that is how that one is writing, which is great. I kind of like the flex, getting used to it. I'm wanting to improve my cursive writing, and that can be a fun way to do it. So just as I clean this one, I will start to tell you about the next one. And turn the page. This is an Annotto Delarue number 21, and I'll just see if I can get that in focus for you there. And from what I understand, because it says in there Annotto, but then Annotto Pens in brackets Australia, so I think some of the Annotto pens were made in Australia, not in England, and I'm going to surmise that this one was. This pen, sorry, I'll just finish cleaning that one. This pen has quite significant chew marks down the bottom there, which I guess I need to decide. I don't know if it can be repaired. Do I just kind of live with it and go, it gives it character? It's a thinner pen compared to the Maybe Todd, similar size but thinner. It's very light in the hand, and it has a pretty big nib on it. So same thing again, I had to apply heat, take that out, get the old hardened sack out of there. This lever, I had to clean out in there as well. The pressure bar in there is very rusted, so I need to work out what to do there. This nib, dirt-wise, was okay. The tines weren't aligned, and I think someone's tried to fix it previously. You can see there's like a little kink in there, so I've actually been careful not to try and align the tines too much more. I don't know if I'm going to create a bit of pressure. Not just there, I just popped it, but I have done quite a bit of micro mesh on that one, and it is in an okay place. And I just have done one round of shining up the clip there. Need to get underneath there. This, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, it actually feels really nice in the hand, this pen. And coming up to show you the nib, so that's that little kink I was telling you about. And on it, it says Delarue Annotto London number 3. So I'll show you how this one writes. if anyone watching knows actually how to restore fountain pens and you think that I've done something really wrong, like, let me know. But I've just been watching lots of the Doodlebud and Grandmere pens. He's an English guy he's so funny. His name's Steph. Been watching a lot of his stuff, and there's the pen collector as well. Is just a wealth of knowledge. I think he's Romanian on vintage pens, so I've been watching like their videos and kind of piecing together. But I think there are going to be some things that I just can't do. But anyway, this is the Annotto Delarue, and this is the model 21. Down, side, down with a bit of pressure. So you can get some line variation in there. I don't think it's as drastic as the Maybe Todd that is a flex nib, but I think you can still get some nice stuff here. So this one needed quite a bit of micro mesh, but it feels fantastic now. The brown. It's the quick. There's something about this pen that just feels really good in the hand. I get the impression that maybe all vintage pens like lay down a decent amount of ink. This one's no different. Fast writing, it keeps up as well. So yeah, all in all, I feel like the nib I don't want to do too much more to because of that little kink in there. It's not perfect, but it writes nicely. It doesn't skip. You know, I can get that bit of flex in there. I think it is lying down a nice amount of ink, and it feels nice in the hand. So for me, the things I want to do with this one next are just getting that resacked. I feel like this one might need the pressure bar replaced, and I would love to, I guess, talk to someone more knowledgeable about, is there any way, like I think the discoloration's going to have to stay, but I don't know if there's a way even, can you heat it to a point that it melts and you can almost like reform it maybe? I'm really not sure. But all in all, the picture of this one wasn't great when I bought it, but I actually quite like the pen. It just feels really nice. And if I think it's going to need quite a thin sack, but I would love to be able to use this one. And I think the nib is in an okay spot. I'll just see if I can find that first bit of, you know, writing. Let me have a look. Some of them, like, so I, you know, it's a screw cap, but I need to go through there with like a toothpick and really make sure I've got every little bit out. Let's see, the Annotto Delarue, where are you? So that was the first one, and it's not that you can't really see it, but actually feeling it, like I can feel that it went into the page a bit more. It was quite scratchy, and I can feel how it's affected the paper there, and here I really can't. So definitely have smoothed that out, which is the whole point. Next one is this guy. This is a Platinum Regal. This is probably in the best shape of all the pens I got, except it's missing, I guess there's like a cap, a band that goes there. The inside of this cap is pretty rusted out, but the nib I haven't done anything to. I put the brush sheet through it once just as I was cleaning it. The lever is in a really, really good shape. This one actually came with a sack still. I did remove it because it's pretty gross, but it's all in really good shape. These are, from what I understand, are pretty common pens. So this is the nib, a Platinum Regal in a medium nib. And this, I think, you can just see would just be like a good everyday writer pen. But I think also at the same time, you know, it does have less character than the first two that I showed you. that's come out of the cap. There's all this. I think you can submerge them in vinegar maybe just to help with rust. I need to look into that a little bit. This is Platinum Regal, really messy handwriting, sorry. A medium nib. This isn't one that you're getting line variation on, but it's just, I think, a consistent writer. So that one's probably short. I haven't done as much with that one. The barrel needs a bit more of a clean, like getting into that platinum bit in there, and I need to sort out the cap. And then it needs to be ink sacked. 2 more left. And I've left these 2 for last on purpose. This one, I actually don't know what it is. So if you do know, let me know. There's quite a bit that needs to be done with this still. I don't know. Is that like an arrow? So it's like a Parker, but I've been trying to like Google like inlaid gold diamond, but I haven't been able to work it out. But anyway, or maybe it's a Schaefer because some of the, anyway, if you know what this pen is, please let me know. Quite a bit of work needs to be done. I'm going to assume it had a clip and that's gone. The circle there of that metal cap is looking pretty sorry, and it's lost something up the top there, which means it's not sealing properly. The pen itself has quite a few scratches on the barrel that will need to be like sanded and buffed out. The nib is a hooded nib. There's a few little indents around the plastic there. The feed actually almost looks like it's off to that side a little bit. And I'm pretty sure what I need to do is, again, apply heat around here, and then that can come apart so you can actually get that nib out. I haven't done that yet. I've been trying to find videos to work out how to do it a bit better, but because I don't know what model pen this is, it's a little bit harder to find. But I will show you how this one writes, and if you do know what it is, please let me know. So we'll just call this black fountain pen. I've done no micro mesh or anything on this, and it is quite scratchy, but I also wonder if it's going to end up being like on the finer side. It still has like tipping material and stuff there. I just don't think that feed is centered. So help. Who, or I guess it's what, am I? So now, lucky last, I thought, I wasn't sure if this was a knockoff or not. There was always the potential because buying secondhand and the woman selling them didn't really know they were her father's. And I guess I wasn't able to see them in person. I didn't know if the price was what it was because, you know, there were other pens in this lot that were like really damaged. So it was like cheap, or because it was a knockoff. And it turns out that the next pen is a knockoff, but it's a vintage knockoff. So I still think it's kind of cool, and I actually still really like it. So I put a photo of this one up in a fountain pen Facebook group, and the general consensus is that this is a Japanese vintage knockoff of a Parker Vac, probably from the like a 1930s, 1940s knockoff. This pen, the nib is probably the most damaged out of all of them, which sucks because I don't know, there's something about it, and the cap as well. I just think it looks really cool. I would love to get a proper restored Parker Vac one day, but again, I didn't want to fork out that much before really knowing what I like about fountain pens. So this one is not a vac. It obviously doesn't have the vac filler there. It's an aromatic. This is the aromatic filler. It had the hardened sac in it that I cleaned out, but this is still looking pretty sorry for itself as well. It's weird, it looks rusted, but I think also like there's like a silver coating on top, and that like comes across, and it has a crack in it. So I think this is one that I'll end up probably needing to send off to be resacked and having to purchase a aromatic filler to go with it. This nib was covered in gunk, and it wasn't just ink, it was like in a really bad shape. And this is gone. I've I have been cleaning this nib probably 4 or 5 times now. You can see I still have some to go, but it's like if imagine that there was black and covered in absolutely all of it, and that feeds a little bit off as well. This nib has quite a bit of damage. The tines, I don't know if the top of one of them had snapped off, but they're unaligned. It's just not happy. You can see that, like you just kind of touch it and they click on top of each other. And yeah, it's just been so dirty. So lots of cleaning this one. I've done the brush sheets, lots of micro mesh. Haven't done any mylar with this because I actually don't know if this nib is salvageable or not. I'll see if I can find the first writing sample of that one. There you go. So you can see there, it was awful. And like that's like ripped into the page there. Lots of like it just wasn't going. It was in a really, really bad shape. I went just after one clean, and still you can see there the different heights of the tines. Like that one bit got a bit better, not the other. And then by the end of 3, 4, 5 rounds of micro mesh, I was kind of getting it a little bit writable, but still, I wrote how we're looking, still really scratchy. So I kind of paused because I'm really not sure if this is one I can fix or not, but I'll show you where we're at. The body itself is in like pretty good shape. There's like a tiny little scratch here and there, but like no chew marks or anything like that. So this is, why does it do that always the first time? Not sure what happened to my handwriting there. But what I was thinking, because I stopped talking, is I almost wonder, it's like there's like no tipping material on it, and I've done a lot of micro mesh. It's almost like maybe on the way to being a stub, which I don't mind. I like a stub nib, so if I can get it to that properly, I think that could be pretty cool. I'm just going to be quiet, see if you can hear that it is still quite scratchy. So this is light pressure. Bit more pressure now. So it writes, I mean, compared to what it first was where I couldn't get a word out, I think, it is a lot better. Yeah, it is basically a stub. But it's probably just a bit too scratchy for it to be comfortable. I tried to smooth out the reverse as well, just see if that would help. So that's where I'm at with this one. I just think it's a really cool, it's just a funky little pen. I actually almost like that it's like a vintage knockoff as well. So I really do want to get this one into a better position. It has a lot more cleaning to go, and I need to work out if I can fix the nib or not. So that's what this one is. In that Facebook group, people had different opinions, but no one could actually pinpoint the actual like model of what this is, or the Japanese maker. So if you do know, let me know as well. I'll do another. I mean, it lays down a decent amount of ink. Like you can see, if I can get the nib there, it'll be a nice pen to write with, you know, a nice little stub. I'm just noticing now that when I lower my writing angle, it actually does get a lot smoother. That's actually really different. So I'm going to do another. I'm out of focus thing there. So if I go lower, that actually feels a lot better to write with. So I have to think about that when I go back to my next round of micro mesh, just really what my writing angle is. And up here, yeah, it's getting scratchier, and down here, it is feeling a bit better. So if you're still with me, thank you, because I really hadn't planned out how I was going to do this video at all. It's really just been free. I don't want to say that. If you're still with me, thank you. That's awesome. I really didn't plan how I was going to do this video. I kind of just wanted to be organic and see how I went, but it definitely has been a bit rambly. But this is, I guess, a bit of a progress report as I, with the help of some really talented and knowledgeable people on YouTube, try and teach myself how to restore some pens. None of these are super fancy, but I'm hoping even if I can get, you know, 2 or 3 of them to a point of being able to use them, it will feel great, because my blood, sweat and tears would have gone in and has gone into trying to make them better. So that is what they are. I don't know what all of them are, but Platinum Regal, Bonotto model number 21, Maybe Todd Blackbird, unknown, and this is a knockoff Parker, possibly Japanese, and some other people thought maybe an Indian knockoff as well. But it's been super fun and time consuming, cleaning, trying to get them better and better and better. This is where I'm at after probably 2 weeks of when I have some spare time, trying to get them into a better position. And I obviously have quite a while to go, but I thought I would just do a bit of an update. Let me know if you want another video once I, you know, spend some more time on these to see the progress, or not as well. If you have any vintage pens, I'd love to know, I guess, your experience with them, and what vintage pen do you think is one everyone should try? Have you gone about restoring them, or do you buy them restored? Thank you so much for hanging with me tonight, guys. I will chat to you all again soon. Bye.